Ahoy there, this is Olusegun Oyekami of Lesser Capital. I'm bringing you just a very quick analysis on the S&P 500. Now, I'm sure many of you have already seen certain analytical reports on the S&P 500 and are wondering what direction the S&P 500 is going to go. And so, as it's well known, the larger time frames kind of determine the overall trend. So, right in front of us is the monthly chart for the S&P 500. And looking at it just at a glance, you can see that this is still quite bullish. The Chiku span, which is this light green line here, is floating free. 10% is above the Kijun Sen. The Kijun Sen actually acts as a mark of support for the overall price trend, as the price is going up. So this is pretty much a bullish signal, despite the fact of what's really happening. It's still quite a way for the price action to actually hit the clouds. And as I said, perhaps the most important thing here is that the Chiku span is actually quite free. Now, if the Chiku span is not free, that's where you do end up having problems. But in this case, there isn't that problem. So let's have a quick look at the weekly chart. And we see something similar here. However, there's a slight difference. Again, looking at this direction here, you can see on our right here where I'm circling, you can see that the overall trend is bullish. But perhaps the most important point here is the Chiku actually being intertwined here with the price action. Now, when this happens in this case, as you can see in this case, the price action is almost acting as a kind of level of support, which means that if it keeps the Chiku span in that direction, then the overall price action that we'll end up seeing tomorrow or so will start going back up. Now, no one really knows what direction any trade can take, or any index or stock can take. But that's generally what happens when Chiku span actually gets stuck within the price ranges here. And so that's what is happening. But overall, the trend is still bullish. Let's go down to the daily charts here. And in the daily charts here, we can see what has happened. This is now completely bearish, as can be seen. Chiku span is quite free. The Kijun is above the Tenkan Sen, which is also confirmation that this is bearish. And of course, you can see that the price is well below it here. And if you look at to some extent, the momentum that you can see down here also indicates that there's momentum in the price actually falling. Nevertheless, there has been resistance here at about the 2,850 mark. It's kind of bounced off and it's gone back up. The last time that was at 2,850 was in October of 2019. So we may just see the price going back up. This is something that we don't really know what's going to happen, and we should spend more time trying to analyze the market than trying to predict the price action. So far, so good. Let's take it down to, let's have a look at what the 4-hour charts are saying. Again, this is also indicating that it is bearish. As you can see, everything's under the cloud. The Chiku is free. The Kijun Sen is above the Tenkan Sen. As you can see, that's the reddish brown thing here, the line here. And of course, the blue line is the Tenkan Sen. You can see the price action and what's going on with the price. And again, resistance at about 2,850. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens tomorrow with this price. And finally, let's just have a quick look at the 1-hour chart. And the reason why I'm looking at the lower time frames is that reversals come from the inside out. In other words, it's the lower time frames that will tell you if there's going to be a reversal or not. So far, the lower time frames are opposed to what the higher time frames are saying. Again, here, as we can see, this is bearish. The price range and the price action is well above, I beg your pardon, below the clouds, as you can see. The Chiku is free, but not completely. And care is not taken if the Chiku span actually gets stuck among the price action here. That could bring about a kind of level of resistance. Hence, the price would not go up, the price would rise, and it will continue to fall. But like I said, no one can really predict. We'll just have to wait and see what happens as time goes on. Anyway, that's just everything I wanted to say about the S&P 500. And as I always say, keep your eyes and ears open and your trading sharp. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Bye.